Welcome guys to our YouTube channel. This is another episode that we are going to do today. So we have our special guest here with me today as we are going to discuss about some of the challenges that we are undergoing as students or those people who are young in our society. So our today's questions, we have a lot of them, but we will just only focus on the three of them that are so basic into our lives. Those as the young people who are trying to come to the world and trying to find their steps or their marks or their territory into this world. So for today, I want to introduce my guests, and he'll introduce himself. He will say who he is and what he is doing. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Viewers, I'm Pastor Cornelius Maina Onyango. I am a pastor by training, but before the call, I had a privilege of working in some of the corporate organizations. I've worked in educational institutions, I've worked in the bank, and here I am to share a bit of the experiences that I have seen, I have witnessed, and I'm here ready to answer some few questions that I'll be asked. Thank you.
So on to our first question that we have is, a lot of our young people are undergoing a lot of challenges, a lot of anxiety. That is after finishing the university. Most of them are asking themselves, where are we going to step? Where are we going to start from? So we want to learn some of the steps or some of the things that he did when he was about to finish his campus or when he had already finished his campus, so that at least one or two things someone can adapt and also be able to put it outside there to help him or herself with.
Thank you. One more time. It is true that campus life comes with a lot of expectations. And when someone gets into his final year, a lot of anxiety sets in, especially when you think about where you are going, what you're going to do, and some of the things that you had expected, more so at this time when the economy isn't promising and the cost of living is a bit high. It is not any different from our times. We graduated, I personally graduated in the year 2006, and there were a lot of problems then because previously the economy had not been doing well, and many people, many graduates had no formal employment. And because of the pile up of so many people, so many years, that people, the economy wasn't doing well, we had to wait. Of course, we feared, just as usual, that what am I going to do? What am I going to answer outside there? Because the expectation from the society is also high, from your parents, from your siblings, from your friends, and they expect that when you get out of campus, there is something good that they expect from you. And also because of the kind of education we get in this country, most of us are made to think that because we are graduates, there are certain kinds of jobs that we may not do. So we tend to be slightly selective, and not because we wish to, but because the society pushes us. I remember very well that when I was about to graduate, that reality started to hit on me. I was a bit frustrated, as I may identify with some of the colleagues who are also graduating or finishing writing their final papers. And it's true, because the weight is upon you. You don't know where to go. You've been leaving campus. You are going outside there now to start living on your own. So many things will run into your mind, and that is true. But one thing I did was to relate to the teaching that I got, that every person that is on earth has a purpose, that God has gifted him, God has given him a specific assignment. And I chose to trust God and pray, and not just pray and sit down, because God is a king, and kings operate with principles, right? So his principle is that he will bless the work of our hands. So whatsoever, as his word teaches us, that whatsoever your hand finds to do, do it with all diligence. The first thing I got was to teach in a school within the slum as a trained teacher. And I did that with a very small pay, if I may call it a pay. I was being paid 2,900. That was the first amount I was paid. Then after 5 months, I got a salary increase to about 6,000. So while serving there, I kept on networking, creating a valuable network, and reaching out, sending as many curriculum vitae or the resumes to as many prospective employers as I could. Many of them would send me regrets. Many of them would invite me for interview, which I attended. And every interview that I failed did not dim my light. Actually, every interview that I attended, anytime I was told that I was unsuccessful, the first thing I wanted to go and ask is to know if there's any question I didn't answer correctly. That was building me so that when I go to the next interview, I would be slightly better. And as I say that, I was not seated there waiting for the job to come. What was happening is that I was working. So the work I was doing, as much as it was not paying me well, I was gaining experience. So some of you may find places where they may not pay you well, but one thing you will be gaining is called experience. And that is what really helped me. Until one time when I got a call from Barclay's bank inviting me to go for the interview, which I managed to go. And I didn't know that sometimes these employers, they call the referees. They called my then director and sought some opinion about my conduct. Luckily, I'd been doing what was required, not fully doing it, but I was trying my level best. And my director gave a very good report about me. And that's how I ended up getting employed.
So as you have heard, that is the story about the life after school. So we have the next question that was about the career. Right now we see that a lot of people, a lot of graduates are outside there. People are looking for jobs left, right and center. Other people are not having their own, even that little that they can do. So my question goes like this, like can someone be able to fit into another career? If so, yes, I know. How can that person be able to adapt and to accept that environment?
Thank you. One thing that we all need to understand, that the first degree does not offer speciality in any field. The first degree, the greatest work, except in certain fields like medicine and engineering. The first degree basically is to open your mind, to enable you get the requisite skills which can help you reason and think. So with that proper grounding that the first degree offers, giving you a wide view of things, you look at things from different vantage points. You can reason, look at the pros and cons. You think intensively and extensively about matters. So that alone should help us understand that the first degree is not necessarily to pin you to a specific career. We have so many media personalities who never took communication as a course, but they did totally different things. If you read, you will find out. We have people who did biotechnology. Some of them, I know them, they're within the media industry. I know so many in the bank. We were quite a number of people, and there were so many lawyers there. We had so many educationists, teachers. We had so many anthropologists. We had so many sociologists. We had so many economists. So you would find that even engineers were being hired as tellers, bank tellers, and that we did. So you cannot close yourself that it is only this job that I can do. No. In every area, the jobs require human beings. The people being handled in those places are human beings. And the greatest thing that is required is the ability to work with human beings, to interact, what we call the interpersonal skills. That is the greatest asset that you must have besides the emotional intelligence. Thank you.
So on our last question is how to navigate the world. Sometimes you have the questions to ask on yourself. Will I be able to get the career first, or should I have a family first? So on how to balance these and to navigate easily throughout the world, we need some advices from these people who had already gone far beyond us, and this is one of the person. So we want to hear one or two guidance that he can give us as the young people, and we will take it from there.
Thank you. The question elicits a lot of emotions when we ask, what do we do first? I want to say that life has got no formula, and it is not a straight line. There is no predictability that this should come first. But I think before someone decides to do one or two, he must ask himself or herself a few questions, whether he will be able to support whatsoever action is going to take. For example, if you want to settle down before you have any meaningful form or source of income, the first question that you should bring in your mind, are you able to provide for this family? Are you able to house them? Are you able to supply the needs, at least the basic needs? That is the first question that should come. We are not saying that you cannot marry before you get a good job. No, you can. Many people have, many people are doing it, right? Because you never know also. You may be waiting for your dream career so that you may attain certain level of comfort before you go. What if this delays and you find yourself you're approaching 40 and nothing has come? Because it is not promised that it will come. Sometimes it may come so early, sometimes it can delay. So the first thing you should do is to find something you can do, something that can sustain you, something that can support the people that you want to bring into your life. These are the critical things. And in that line, you don't have to get a job necessarily. You can even start small businesses, right? And those businesses can give you some form of income that can support you and support the people, right, that are waiting or are depending on you. So when you get something to do, as I mentioned the word of God, that whatsoever your hand finds to do, do it wholeheartedly. So what is that you can do before the right job comes? You cannot sit and fold your arms, wake up in the morning, browse the net without finding something to do. You can find something to do. You can even bake some cakes around. You can sell bananas. Yeah? You can volunteer in an institution. You can go and work as a trained teacher. Though the Teacher Service Commission is trying to be a bit strict on that issue nowadays, but I believe if you try, you will get somewhere. At least you are able to wake up in the morning, go and do something. You may not get paid, but at least you are gaining experience.
So from those that you have gotten, it has enlightened our eyes. It has given us a big exposure to how we have to handle our issues. So at this juncture, we just have to say thank you, and thank you for tuning, and we also appreciate each and every moment that you've been with us. And also to our guests, we appreciate you so much. We love you. We appreciate so that you come back next time. And we say bye or
good night.
Good night.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It says